Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to just talk about my flashlight journey with custom flashlights. Show you the ones I have right now. I don't have all of them here. There's 4 of them that I sent out for modding to my buddy Artie. And then there's a few that are on the way and such. So this is what I have as of right now. There's a few in here that I had in for review from companies. This is a Nightcore EDC 33. This thing's pretty wild. It has lumen shield, which is like just a full blast of lumens. And it's supposed to act like a shield. It has 9 LEDs in there. Pretty wild shit. I have an Olight Nano, Warrior Nano. That's cool. Then I have a Woobin X2 in this crazy splatter pattern tie. They sent me this for review, and I don't know, I just thought it was cool, so for now I'm keeping it. They sent me another one that I'll be giving away. And then the other one that's more production-like is this Noctagon or MSR Hank Light, basically. D4V2 in titanium. This was a gift from my buddy Steve. Copper ring around here. And this one has UV secondary channel. See if I can get that for you. It's very difficult. There you go. UV secondary channel, has ramping, and yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting light. Not something I would carry really, but it's cool, and I like the UV on it, so it's kind of nice to have around for that. I have a bunch of other lights that are like around the house and stuff, but they're not custom lights. These aren't either. So let's talk about the custom lights. I can't even remember. I think what I got first was my F2 from Focusworks. Oh yeah, I don't have that either because I had to send it back for warranty. The driver and memory were kind of fritzing out a little bit. It was supposed to not have memory, and it was kind of having memory, and then back and forth. It was really weird. Yeah, so the F2 was one of the first ones I got. I started with flashlights, honestly, with the CWF Micro Click. That was the one I wanted the most, and it took me a while to finally get one. This was years ago. And then that's all I had was Micro Clicks. I had a Zerk one, I had a Damascus one, I had a bunch of titanium ones, PVD or DLC coated titanium, machine titanium, the gamut, right? And I would never go any bigger than a 10440 because I just felt like it wasn't pocketable enough to have anything bigger. So some people on a live stream finally convinced me to get a 14500 size light, and that was the F2 from Focusworks, which I immediately fell in love with. And then I was able to find an Okluma DC0, which I don't have here. That's one of the ones being modded. And then from there, I ordered this Laulima, which is now Dawson Machine Craft or Dawson Machine Company. And this is the Ion Slim. This is very, very nice light. Has the H17F Dr. Jones driver in it. It's got a nice kind of medium beam, I would call it. It's got some throw, it's got some flood. I mean, it's really nice. I like this one for just everyday carry. It's nice. And then I also ordered the Hydra from JC Customs. That's another one that's not here right now. It's over being modded. And that one's a triple emitter in a 14500 size, which is really intriguing to me. And I loved it. So I'm just having the emitters swapped out because I hate what was in there. Yeah, so that kind of got me started. And then I found the 18350 size. And it really started with a 16340. Sorry to kind of backtrack, but I got the Citadel. So it was right around the same time I got the Citadel and I got my first Peanut. This is the CWF Peanut. It's a basically a short Arcadian, has a new driver in it. It's awesome. You can have 3 different color secondaries. They're just a little dimmer than you usually get on the Dragon V3 driver. I have videos on all the drivers and how to program them and all that stuff. That's not what this is about. I just want to ramble about what I have here. And I got these around the same time, and I realized quickly that I love this size of flashlight. I really like the 18350/16340 size. It's very comfortable in cigar grip. It pockets for me really well in all of my pants. I don't have issues with them being too wide or anything. And you get more power in this case. With the 16340, you don't get more. Well, I guess you don't really get more than you do out of a 14500, but it's just, you get more lumens, it seems like, more flood. For me, I use these for EDC. So that's my main task. A lot of you guys are into the single emitter lights, and you like having a lot of throw, and I do like that. And I occasionally like carrying those, and they give you enough spill that it's good inside, right? But I really like these type lights indoors. They work really well for me. When I'm trying to read to my kid at night, I can put it on this sort of low mode. You know, if I'm doing something in the house where I just need some light, I can put it on, you know, 25% or something like that, tail stand it. Singles are really good for that, honestly, depending on the height of your ceiling. But yeah, I just really like triple emitters. They're cool, you know, that's the other thing. I really like how cool they are. You can throw glow gaskets in there. So as you can tell, I really like glow gaskets. I'm slowly trying to put them in everything I possibly can. They're not cheap though. If you get good ones from like JC Customs, they're like 15 bucks. If you get them from CWF, they're like 25. You can get 3D printed ones from a company called XYZ Printing or something like that. I think I have one in my Pele. Not positive. I might have swapped this out, but I had one. It's just a 3D printed glow gasket. It doesn't last as long, but it does glow pretty bright initially, and you know, it works. So that's an option for dirt cheap. They're more like $3 or $4 or whatever. But I like the colored ones. You know, I try to match them with stuff. So this has a red secondary. So I have an orange glow gasket because that's all I had at the time. This one I set up with red and red. This one I set up with blue and blue. You can kind of see the theme here. Green and green. And I went on a mission. Once I got the peanut, I just fell in love with it. And then a guy was selling this machine tie peanut for a really good price. These are normally around $550, $600, and I got this for like $320. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll throw a glow gasket in. I had to mod the glow gasket. I have a video on that. But I got the glow gasket, and I was like, ooh, I could do all the colors because you can change the secondary. This doesn't have to be blue. I can change this to red or green as well. But me being weird, I was like, oh, now I need all 3 peanut colors. So I got all 3 peanut colors. So I have the stonewash, or sorry, peanut titanium finishes. This is a stonewash titanium peanut. This is a tumbled titanium peanut. And this is a machine titanium peanut. So I got all 3, and then I made them all have the color match the glow gasket. And I modded glow gaskets for each one. I know, I'm a nerd, but I don't care. It's fun. So, and I am aware that the secondary on this is missing a light. Charles is sending me a new pill for that, but I just wanted to point that out in case you caught that and you were going to tell me about it. Now, I obviously, when you get into flashlights, people tell you about Gizmo. And I ordered a Haiku straight from Don over at Gizmo Flashlights. I have a video on how to order from Don, which is so easy, but people don't realize. They think they're like hard to get. You can order them and he'll ship them in 24 hours. It's insane. So I ordered the Haiku, which is this one, but I ordered it with this body, the 14500 body. And you can do that. You can swap the heads with the bodies, and it's really cool how you can do all that with his lights. So then later on, I ended up ordering this Sundrop head, which is completely different than the Haiku. So the Haiku here has a nice sort of throwy beam. It's gorgeous, by the way. 119V, 4500K, Nichia. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. Look at that. And then the Sundrop is a very floody style light. I guess I still need to do a beam shot on this. I don't know if I ever did that. But I don't currently have a driver in here. So that's the thing is you can just swap the driver back and forth. And so I don't have one in here right now. I'm waiting on my Tana workshop driver. You can order a driver from this guy named Tana overseas. And he makes them with the Dr. Jones driver. So it'll have the driver from this, where you can set any temperature or any brightness you want. It's very cool. And so once I get that, I'm going to put the Dr. Jones driver in one of these two heads, and then I'll have both of these set up, which will be great. But the Haiku is an absolute legend. The clip is amazing. I recommend the 16340 body because it just works better, in my opinion, with the clip and everything. You don't get caught on the ribbing here. With this one, you tend to get caught a little bit on the ribbing. But both are fantastic. Whatever you want to do. I just prefer the size, cigar grip, and everything on the 16340. And then along the way, I discovered barrel flashlights. I got a deal on this. It was like $250, which I'm actually trying to sell this. I've been trying to sell it for the same $250. So maybe I didn't get a deal. Maybe they're just not very sought after in aluminum, or I don't know. But this is cool. It's got blue secondaries. It's blue distressed Cerakoted aluminum, which is really cool. And Barrel's thing is, they have really good machining, by the way. They have these sleeves and rings. So you can take this ring off, and you can take that sleeve, that black piece in there comes out. And then you can swap those. So this comes out, and you can buy different rings and sleeves. And then you can kind of pimp out your light however you want to pimp it out, which is pretty cool to me. Now, with this blue one, there's not many options, really. It's kind of just looks good with black, in my opinion. So I left it the way it is. Plus, I'm trying to sell it, obviously. And this one has Samsung 351D emitters. 5000K, and it's not my favorite. It has this little bit of a greenish tinge to it, and we're gonna see a light later on that has a similar emitter, and I love. So there's this thing in the flashlight world, which is something I would love to do a deep dive on with anybody who wants to talk about it. Emitters come in batches, I guess. They're called batch identification numbers, bins, and certain dealers, certain whatever sellers, they know somehow which ones are the good ones and the bad batches. And so you'll get lights with good bins and bad bins of certain emitters. So not all emitters are created equal. So just because this is a Samsung 351D that I don't like, that doesn't mean the Samsung 351D stinks. It just means that maybe they got a bad bin or something. I don't know. That's something I really want to dive into when I can. I also have a really, really nice barrel flashlight, different model, the M2JN, I think it is. And it has little speed holes, and it's more rounded, which for me just makes more sense. And it's titanium, and I love that light. That one got sent off for modding as well. So I don't have it here. But yeah, if anybody's interested, $250 for this. I don't think that's bad. And that's what I paid. I mean, I'd like to get that out of it because otherwise I could keep it. It's not, I mean, I like it. And it is great outside. when you're using it. It's just when you're shining it at walls and shit, you're like, oh, it's kind of green, you know? I don't know how much that matters. And then I kind of fell and was like, okay, I'm going to get some of the bangers, you know what I mean? So I started working on that. Like I said, I got the Citadel from Reaver Arms. I absolutely love this flashlight. I haven't carried it much lately just because I've gotten all these other flashlights, and this is how my life is with review channel and probably just collecting. I'm sure everybody's like that who collects. You just get something, you carry it a while, and then something else shows up, and you don't get to carry these nice things very often. But I do try to get this in my pocket, you know, every couple weeks. And I really like this. The machining on this is incredible. Jesse does an amazing job the way this all lines up. I mean, you have to muscle it to get it there, and it all lines up. It's pretty sweet. Really nice milled clip. These are 650 bucks retail in titanium, but you can see where your money's going, I think, and that's always a nice thing. It does take 16-340. It's about the same size as these other 18-350s, but that's because you can see how thick the titanium is, and that's because this thing is a beast. You can watch his torture testing videos online where he literally hits it with a bat, smashes it into stuff, throws it, and all he has to do at the end is switch the switch out, and it works. It's crazy. And you can literally you can switch a switch out in 2 minutes. You just have to rip this cover off, pull the O-ring on most lights. Some of them are different, but for most part, what I've come across is like that. And so some of the little modifications like glow gaskets and optics and switches and stuff, I can do myself, clips obviously, and I've had fun doing a lot of that stuff. So that was the Citadel. Then I got the Pele, and I love this flashlight so much. Again, this was one I got on a deal. I think I paid $250 for this, and it felt like an absolute steal. Titanium flashlight, comes with the Tie 2 pocket clip that everybody wants, and I know why. It's a fantastic pocket clip. This is a 3-piece design, so you have this sort of tube in the middle with threading on both sides. So it essentially looks like this on both sides. And then you have the tail cap and the head that both screw on. It's pretty interesting. I suppose that would be easier to do than 2-piece designs we see most of the time now. It's got cool threads. And what I really like about this light is 2 things. The cigar hold is fabulous. It's a little further down. So most lights, you know, that's a bad example because it doesn't have a good cigar grip. Most lights, you're going to have that sort of taper right here at the end, right? So you hold it at the end of the flashlight like that, and then you know, do your thing. Well, this light, because it's such a long piece here, you end up kind of holding it like this. And for me, it just is like the perfect distance for my thumb. Like, I just feel really comfortable with this. Whatever emitters are in here are fantastic. They might be 519C 5000K. Sorry, 219C 5000K. They might be the Samsung emitters. I'm not sure. But it's bright and it's fabulous. And it definitely has a narrow optic in there. And it's got a nice hot spot compared to most of my lights. It's got more of a hot spot for a triple emitter than most. It's really fun. It's got a nice indented switch, so you have this whole area here, and it just, not the best for this move, but I don't do that move. I do this or I do this, and it works fantastic for all of that. The Pele is one of my favorites. You can see how deep down the optic sits compared to, again, most lights. There's just a little space between the edge of the bezel and the glass, where this has a little bit more, and I think that's why it's a little throwier. Almost creates a reflector. I don't know how that would work, but that's the Pele. Then I got this beautiful Deadwood Custom. This is the Deadwood Customs Huckleberry, and I really love this shape of flashlight. So you'll notice a lot of the ones that I love really have this similar shape. The head is a little wider than the body, and then it tapers back out at the end for a great cigar grip. And I love them in aluminum because you get a little bit of that front heavy feel, and I don't know why, I just really like that. So this one's in titanium with the sort of ninja twist pattern. I forget what he calls it, but they're out of business now, Deadwood Customs. Again, nice switch down, set down a little bit so you can tail stand. No idea what's in here either. Might be 219C, might be the Samsung emitters again. It's really one or the other at this point on these older lights. But yeah, really like the beam on this one as well. Just a good light, and it's sexy. I mean, a lot of what I like about these lights are how sexy they are. I put a red glow gasket in there. And I'm using a Laulima clip or Dawson Machine Craft or Machine Works. Man, I can't remember which one. Is it Machine Works or I don't know. It was Laulima Metalcraft, and I think it's Dawson Machine Company. I don't know. Anyway, the clip is great. They make wonderful clips. I also recently got the Brat Guy clips. You'll see later. The price on those for what you get, astounding. Mickey makes those. They're like 25 bucks, and they're as good of a clip as anything. So if you have a lot of lights and you are going to want to swap clips, those are good ones to pick up. But these Laulima ones are excellent as well. Fantastic. And this Deadwood is just such a good light. I really like it. I might need to swap out the driver. I'm not sure, or the whole pill really, because there's like these little plastic covers on the secondary lights. If anybody knows anything about this, they kind of have like domes. You know how the LEDs have domes? It's kind of like that, and they're like missing from the secondary lights on this one for some reason. I think what happened was somebody put a glow gasket in there that I swapped out after I bought it. And it was in there wrong. It was like all bent and shit. So I think that kind of did some damage to the secondary. So I might change it. It's not like messed up. It works. So it's not the end of the world. But, you know, if I get the chance, I'll probably switch it out. But yeah, that's the Huckleberry. Really cool flashlight. Then I got the Boss. I got the Overready Boss. This is the probably the light you'll hear about the most once you get down into the nitty gritty of custom lights. You'll always hear how awesome the Boss is, and the Lux RC driver and everything. And I'm kind of on record lately with saying that I think the Lux RC driver is a bit overrated. It's really cool that you get to program it on your computer and your phone and everything, but if it doesn't work right, which I've been having struggles with every one I've gotten, you know, pins not working properly, or just not having, it's just not programming the right way, or in the best way, or making it easy, you know, could just be user error. But it's almost easier to get ones where you just set it and forget it. Like the Dragon driver is not the most advanced driver, but it has modes that work for me, and I can set it and then forget it and not have to keep thinking about it. Where with the Boss, I'm always, when it's in my pocket, I'm always like trying to get the pin. Even though I don't need it, I'll try to get the pin to work because it's not working. And then it's just, I think for people like me with OCD, it's not the best option. Anyway, the flashlight is gorgeous. I did not love this Boss design until I got it in hand. Thanks to my buddy Steve for getting one and convincing me to try it, because this is one of the best lights out there. Whatever they do in here is just genius, because I get such a good beam, such good light out of this. This has the Nichia 519A 4500K emitters. They're the best, in my opinion, right now. So I love them. But this thing puts out a ton of light and has a really clean look to it. It's just a fabulous flashlight. I love that crenulated bezel on the version I have. The MOF switch is cool. You know, again, if it just, you know, works the way it's supposed to, it's great. I like it. I really like the Lux RC secondary. You get this little single light, and it gives you just enough light. It really is an excellent secondary. When you do the programming and everything, it is pretty cool that you can do it on your computer, you know. So you can take the head off, which the threads on this are fabulous. This is the best aluminum flashlight I've ever handled. You can see the drivers nicely seated in there, spring on this end. You can actually undo this, and that's how you can get in there and change the optic out if you want, clean the glass or whatever. Makes it pretty easy, so you don't have to like unscrew this whole thing and do all this shit. You can just... now, I've been told that some open up easier than others, so... it's an 18350, and again, just smooth as butter on the threads. The thing that makes it so much better than other aluminum lights I've handled is the weight, because this has a steel bezel. This front just section up here is steel, and it really gives it a little bit of weight at the front, which makes it feel like a titanium light. It's excellent. It really is. It's one of the best lights out there. I love the Boss. And then recently, I was able to pick up these two, the Okluma DC1 in this machine titanium. Love it. This is one of the quintessential designs, I feel like, adopted from the Mac triples, I guess they're called. But this one came with a Lux RC driver. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I just can't get this thing programmed the way I like it, the way I want it to work. It seems underpowered. Like, that's as bright as it gets, which is pretty bright, but nowhere near some of these other lights. And then I can't get it. It'll mess up where it'll kick back on high. It'll fritz out. It's weird. And I just want to put a Dragon driver in here. I'm waiting for some drivers to come in that I'm having made for me and or just sent to me as finished drivers. But USPS is being a bitch. I threw the Brat Guy clip on here. This is that clip I was talking about from Mickey, Brat Guy Enterprises. So if you're interested, you can pick these up for like 25 bucks. Titanium clip, excellent retention and ramp and all that stuff. Really digging it. Really digging those clips. Looks good on here too. Knurling's really good on this. Just you guys know Okluma is really good. I will say on a lot of my lights, I swap out the boot cover as soon as I get it because they always tend to feel soft. And I like these Okluma nubless DC1 switches, covers. And I'll switch the switch out sometimes just depending on how it feels. This one I changed the switch and the cover, and man, did it make a difference. Just feels like amazing now. Beautiful light, very comfortable in hand. The emitters are fine in here. There's some kind of Cree emitters, but it's mostly about the driver that I don't like, so I'm gonna switch that out when I can. That's the DC1, and then I got kind of the pimp daddy of the group. I got the Hanko Trident. This is in camo tie, and this is a Tesseract twist. And then it has a steel flame clip. I like how he does the switch with that retention thing on it. And luckily, these come with a pretty good switch. It's interesting. They seem to be a little smaller than others. Right? See that? It's a little smaller, but it works really well. And this one comes with Samsung 351D 4K emitters. So you get a really warmish light. And I gotta say, I mean, it's not something I would have chosen. It's just how they come, but it's fantastic. It really is. I like the way it looks quite a bit. I am gonna switch it out because I want a Dragon in here because I want secondary lights. So as soon as I can figure that out, I will. But it's sexy. I already want another Hanko. So I'm going to work on that. It has tri-start threads, which are, whoop, see, it's crazy how fast that spins out. And you're just like, whoa. It gets me every time. because I'm so used to all the other ones where you have to just unscrew for days. But this is just crazy how fast it comes off and tightens, and it stays on there. Great clip, works wonderfully. That's something I've noticed about a lot of lights. They come with shit ass clips. They look cool, but they just don't work really well. You know, like you throw the Brackeye or the La Lima or whatever clip on and you're good to go. But some of them come with great clips like Hanko, Okluma, CWF. And then the last one that I got today is something I wanted for so long. And this is a CWF Arcadian. So this is the big bro to the Peanut. So here's the Peanut. And the Peanut originated from the Arcadian. The Micro Click originated from the Arcadian. He made a thin micro version of the Arcadian, and then the Peanut, he shrunk it down. He created this quantum driver, which all the electronics sit on one board. So he has the LEDs, the driver, and everything on one board. So it shrinks your pill down to this versus normally having a pill like that long. And that's why he was able to pack it into such a small package. But I really like this size because I get a really good cigar grip. I get that little, like I said, I get that weight at the head and titanium here with the copper pill in there. It just feels amazing. This one came with amber secondaries, which is cool. And I immediately threw an orange glow gasket in there. And this one has Samsung 351D emitter as well. I think 5K, but I'm not positive. The COA says 219C 4K, but Charles told me it's definitely Samsung. So somebody swapped it, I guess, or whatever. And this thing is a hot rod. I mean, you'll see when I do the video on it, when I do the beam testing. This is, I mean, it's probably the brightest light I've had so far. It just is an absolute beast. I think that's 100%. Let's see if we can go one more. Yeah, that was it. I mean, it's really, really bright and great flood, but it also has a nice hotspot because he uses the narrow optic. I really like that narrow optic. You'll probably see it in most of my lights. If I messed with it, I put a narrow optic in it. A lot of them just come with that, the clear narrow, because it's just really good. You get good spill and flood, but you also are able to get a little bit of throw out of it. Pretty sure Hanko, though, uses a frosted medium or wide, because if you look at this, you can see it covers a much wider area out the front. You see how wide that beam is right there? If I grab the CWF again, go on high, you see how this is a little more narrow, right? So that's a difference you'll see. This is fabulous indoors. Even outdoors, it's great because I don't need long distances. But indoors, man, you put this thing on high, it literally is like daylight in a room, but comfortable, you know? So anyway, that was kind of the grail for me, was a Arcadian. I still want a machine titanium one. I want one like this finish. And then I want it to have this clip. So I do have an aluminum Arcadian that is machine finish with that clip coming, which is cool. But, man, I really like titanium. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But if you're out there and you have a custom Arcadian like this, machine tie, I want it, hit me up. If you have any cool custom lights you want to sell that I haven't tried yet, let me know. I have a Fellholter FTD on the way. I have another Arcadian on the way. Trying to get another Hanko. And I don't know if there's anything else I can't think of that I got. But, yeah, I'm still going down the rabbit hole. But, you know, I'm I'm less nerd. It seems like I'm less nerding out on the actual nitty gritty electronic LEDs and stuff like that, and more on the aesthetics and stuff like that, which, you know, everybody has their own style. But, you know, you could look at it that way. That's why I'm not as interested in the single emitter optic, you know, like throwy lights that have awesome throw and beams, and like everybody loves these triple size lights with single emitter conversion kits in them with reflectors and shit. A lot of people love that, and I totally get it. But I don't, you know, I don't need that. That's not what I use my lights around the house. I use my lights, you know, around the outside of the house, around my car and areas. I don't use my light to spot things at distance. I don't live on a ton of land. So this makes more sense to me, and they're cool and they're sexy. And so that's kind of my style. But that's not to say it won't change, because we started here. Now we're here, and you never know where we're going to end up. So put this one back in my pocket. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. That was a little bit rambly. It was just kind of an overview of what I got recently. This has all happened. I shit you not. This has all happened in about a month and a half. 2 months tops. Somebody out there might be able to tell me when that. There was a live stream where I got convinced to try the F2, and that's when it started. I have tried custom lights before that, but I didn't fall down the rabbit hole. That live stream, right around Black Friday, I think it was, so maybe it's been about 2.5 months or something. That is, yeah, there was a Black Friday sale, so it was Black Friday, right around there. And, I mean, how many lights do we have here? Holy cow. I really probably shouldn't add all this up. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 here. Plus you have 4 that are out for modding that I already own. That's 19. Plus 2 more on the way. That's 21. That's 21 dang. No, plus the F2. That's 22 lights right there in about 2 months. All custom. That's just not good for anybody, but I'm happy about it. So there you go. Anyway, I'll shut up. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your collection of custom lights. Let me know what you're after. Maybe we can help each other. I would definitely say, if you're into this, check out the Facebook groups. They seem to be the best place to find them, talk about them. I've been nerding out with a lot of cool guys there. There's a couple of other channels. If you're watching this and you're coming from the knife side of things, like you've been watching all my knife content over the years, and you're kind of like, cool, these flashlights are nice. I know some of you guys are like, fuck that, get back to the knives, but there's plenty of knife content for you. Trust me, I got plenty of that. But if you're one of those people and you want to know other channels to check out, I would definitely check out Schule Lights. CHEULE''S, Schule's Lights, I think it is. And then Flashlight Crazy is another one. And both of those guys are kind of part of the flashlight community. And as far as I can tell, they're both really cool dudes, and they pump out content. They review lights just like me, production lights, custom lights. You can watch them go down the rabbit hole. It's pretty cool. Those guys are focused on lights, where my channel is, you know, kind of all EDC, mostly knives. So those would be 2 channels I would tell you to check out. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. If you know of any, leave them down below. Let me know what else you guys would like to see. If there's anything I haven't tried or checked out. I do want to get a few more 14500 lights. There's some other La Limas I really like. Sorry, Dawson's I like. The Malini Slim is one I really want. And we'll see if I, you know, find anything else out there in that realm. But yeah, there it is. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.